I found $2,000 in my bank account. Living with my father was horrible, even for her. I didn't want to come to Canada. That was like my last option. I'm gonna love this country and I love it. I don't want to leave. I love Montreal. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Pretty Talks with Selma. Imagine 9 p.m. I'm fully glam. I'm wearing a cute new set from Garage, and this shows my consistency. I'm in my luteal phase, so that means I'm like crying the whole day. I'm eating the whole day, and I was just like, you know what? I made myself a promise that I'm gonna be so consistent on YouTube. That's why I'm filming my new episode at 9 p.m. I think I need some applause in here because your girl is being consistent and serious about this. Today I shared on my story for you to choose one of the three subjects, and most of you chose my thoughts on living abroad. And I've been thinking like, what should I talk about? And I was writing my scripts, and then I was like, it's kind of different. I have a totally different story of a simple student who came here, just kept studying. They had their degree after 3 years, and that's it. That's their life in here, and they can share with you their experience. But me, it was totally different. And I think if you followed me on Instagram for the past year, I shared a lot of videos talking about my story, but not really all of it. So I decided in this episode, yes, I will give you my thoughts on living abroad, but also I am gonna share my story first, and then I'm gonna give you my thoughts. A disclaimer, in this video, it's gonna be a little bit vulnerable, and I'm sorry if I cry. I'm gonna talk about abuse, anxiety, and depression. I'm gonna talk about loneliness. So I am sorry if it's really, really sad, but I really hope you enjoy this video, guys. Let's get into it. So I think we all know that I'm Moroccan. I'm from Morocco. I grew up my whole life in Morocco. I grew up with divorced parents, but it was always me, my mom, and my little sister and my mom's family. So I do remember my parents living together at a certain point, but I was really young, so I don't have a lot of memories of that. So overall, I was just living with my mom. She's my everything, my whole world. I was always under my mom's care, protection, stability. So literally, it was just me, her, and my little sister. Honestly, I was a very calm child. I wasn't going out at all. Like my friends, I remember like they were inviting me to their houses or like to go outside, and I wasn't like a big fan of going outside. So technically, I wasn't going out. I would go out with my family, but not because it was forbidden. It just like that's not who I am. I was a very fortunate kid. I'm so thankful for that. I went to private schools. I had the best education. I went to beautiful trips. All my worries, I remember when I was in Morocco, was just studying, having good grades, watching Hannah Montana, and I was just thinking every single day, how can I be her, Hannah Montana, or how can I be famous one day? These were my worries. I wasn't thinking about paying bills. I wasn't thinking about literally nothing. No problems at all. And everything changed in high school when I got my diploma, which is in Morocco, we call it bac. I had a plan A and a plan B. Plan A is to have a good grade in high school, and I did, to get a big respected university in Morocco, and I did. Or plan B is to come to Canada. And between you and me, I didn't want to come to Canada. That was like my last option. And my first option was just to stay in Morocco with my mom. I had everything planned in Morocco. I have my life, I have my family. I was loved. They were taking care of me. I was a child, but I had everything planned. But my mom decided that it's better if I go to Canada. And unfortunately, the reason why I didn't want to come here because my father was here. And since I didn't live with him for over 10 years, I was so scared to come here and just like spend with him even 1 minute. Just imagining his face, it's horrible to say, but just imagining his face right now gives me anxiety. So imagine at 16 years old, they just make you leave your country to go to another foreign country to stay with your father who you didn't see for like years. But again, I told myself that people change. You know, people change, and he didn't see his daughters for so long. So maybe he changed. Little that I know, he didn't. But that was my thought as a 16 years old. I was like, everyone deserves a second chance. So let me give my father a second chance, and let's have this daughter-father relationship, and it's good. It wasn't. It wasn't. We're not gonna cry today, okay? So I came here, and the moment I came here in Canada, when I arrived at the Montreal airport, the first person I saw was him. And I remember I had this overwhelming feeling that, oh my God, this is it. I came here by myself to this man. This is my life now. My life is with him right now. I remember thinking my whole life was with my mom, and it was, beautiful life. And now maybe like my whole 20s, they're gonna be with this man. But I had some hope. I was seeing actually the good side. I was like, okay, well, maybe it's gonna be good. I'm gonna give the guy the chance. It's gonna be good. But honestly, at that moment, I didn't know that my life was gonna change. My whole life. And I was gonna experience the hardest chapter of my life. Oh God. I have tears. If that little girl of 16 years old knew, I think I would just go back to Morocco at that point. I swear. I'd be like, okay, I'm still here. Take me back. Hey, pilot, take me back. So if I remember, I didn't check my passport because I don't know where's my old passport. But if I remember, I came September. It was September. It was the beginning of September, I think, or the end of August. I stayed with my father. Oh, by the way, my father is married. I just want to tell you that his wife, she was really nice. Living with my father was horrible, even for her. She was really nice to him. She was doing everything like to make him feel good. And I always ask myself, why is she doing that? Why are you with him? Like literally as a 16-year-old, I'm asking this question in my head, which is horrible, but still. Actually, she made my life easier living with him. She was a really nice woman until she changed. Overnight, she changed. She just changed. I could feel the hate, and I don't know what happened to her. She just changed. Maybe I don't know. I can't tell. I really can't tell. So my life started becoming really hard with them, both of them. My father wasn't like controlling with me because I wasn't doing anything. Honestly, I was just like a girl who goes to university and come back. I didn't even know how metro works, so he didn't have the opportunity to be controlling with me. So that wasn't the problem because I didn't experience that with him. My problem was the abuse. I lived mental abuse and physical abuse, and especially the mental abuse. It was horrible. My father is a Gemini. I'm just gonna keep that there. And you can't understand Gemini, man. You just can't. You're like living with two people. And I swear to God, my father is the perfect example for that. I don't know where this video is going, but I promise you we're talking about living abroad. My thoughts on living abroad. But I'm just giving you my story first, okay? But yeah, he was just mentally abusing me. I'll give you an example. Like, I am really not a girl who is really good at math. I love math, but I always say that math doesn't like me. So I wasn't good. And especially that I came here, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna talk about that after. But I came here and I had to take a certain classes to start my program. And I had to take math classes and they were really hard. So I failed. I came and I showed him and I was really sad. But instead of like him telling me it's okay, like it's okay, you can take it, especially that he's not the one paying for my classes, it's the government. And actually he was also taking my scholarship, if I remember. So technically he wasn't paying for my classes, it's the government, and he was also taking my scholarship because the government gives you the money to pay for classes. And since you're not working or you have a low income, I remember they used to send me like $700 every month, and I don't remember I had that $700. Oh my God, now that I remember. Bref, so instead of him telling me that it's okay, like you can take it again and I can help you, or like you're gonna do better, we're gonna find a solution, he just looked at me. I remember he just looked at me and he told me, what are you gonna do in here if you failed your first class? But how can you say that to me? Like, how can you say that to someone who just came here and I was 16? That is horrible to say. What do you mean, what are you gonna do here? It's like, that's it, my life failed. And it's crazy because whatever he told me stayed in my mind for years. It took me like at least 3 years after to remove whatever he told me. But this was just like one thing. Another thing, I can give you another example of physical abuse. I remember when I came here, well, at the end of high school, I took a lot of pictures with my friends, with my class, and I was really close to them. And oh my God, I miss them. And of course, I have the pictures with me. And of course, I still have the pictures on Instagram. My father just didn't have my Instagram. So he literally found a picture of me, and not just me alone. It was me, two girls, a guy next to me, and then a guy next to the other two girls. And the guy next to me, he's not hugging me, he's hugging us. He has a huge hand. So yeah, the hand is on me, but his hand is also on the other girls. And literally, everyone's hugging everyone because, we're a group. I was gonna die that night. He literally abused me physically. Like, it was nuts. I saw like a monster, and the only person who helped me from that night, it was his wife. Like, that's it. But overall, I stayed with him 7 months. Now imagine that. It took me 7 months. Imagine you didn't see your daughter for years. You bring your daughter here to study, to have a future, to have an education, and then you do this to her. And imagine like you didn't see your father for so long, and you live with him only 7 months. And I escaped. Yes, I escaped. It's not me, it's my mom who told me. So one day, something happened, not because of me, because of him and his wife. And it was so toxic for me, and I couldn't sleep for days. I couldn't eat. I was living in anxiety. And the thing is, I wasn't telling my mom anything. Whenever she calls me, I tell her everything is good. But that time, I had to call my mom crying, telling her what I've been living with. And the moment I told her, my mom started crying, and she just told me, you have to leave. But the thing is, I am alone. I don't know anyone in here. We don't know anyone in here. And then she just told me, you're gonna leave the house. And then I'm like crying, what am I gonna, where? And it was winter. So it's like -30 outside. And she was like, you're gonna leave the house. So the next day at like 8 a.m., they leave the house, they go to work, and I'm alone, and I wasn't studying. She called me in that morning. She was like, pack your bags. I found someone that we know in Montreal. They're gonna come and take you from there and help you. Before coming to Canada, it took me 1 month to pack everything. 1 month. I remember that day, I packed my whole life in like an hour. I went downstairs and I found that woman with a car. She hugged me. She took my stuff in her car and she took me to her house. And she know the story because my mom obviously told her. That woman, I will never forget her. I hope everything is good for her and her family, and not just her, and other families too that helped me at the beginning. I'm starting to get emotional. And I remember I sat down with her and she told me, listen, like, you can stay here for months. And I told her, there is no need. Like, I can go to the university because we have dorms, and I can go and ask for a room because we have like big university residency, if we can call. And I remember I stayed with her like 2 days, and then because it was, I think, the weekend or something, and then she took me there to university. And I just want to tell you that to have a room in there, you have to wait months. I went there and I told them I'm looking for a room. They told me, oh my God, you are so lucky. There's someone who just left today. Literally today they left, and I got a room the same day. I signed, I paid the rent. It was, I remember, because the room is really small, like really, really small. I don't know how to describe the room, but it's really small, and it was perfect because I'm an introverted girl and I love small rooms. So it was so cozy for me. I love this. I will never forget that room. And actually, I remember we went to her house. I slept there, and the next day I got my stuff. They brought me to the university, and that's it. My life starts from there. So now, what I think about living abroad, especially Canada, I'm gonna tell you like what I found hard and what I learned. So these are my thoughts. The first thing is the language. You're gonna tell me, yeah, Salma, like, they speak in French. Yes, they're speaking French, but they're speaking French Quebecois. That's totally different. Your girl didn't understand a thing. Like, I remember when I used to go to university, my first classes, because my university is Université de Montréal, everyone's speaking French. But my first classes, my professors, they were just like talking nonstop, and I couldn't understand anything. The only thing that helped me was recording the lectures, and then I would come back home and listen again, and then I would like, oh, okay, so that's what he means. It was really hard for me at the beginning to understand the language, and I'm not gonna lie to you, like, until now, yes, yes, I understand like 95% of the language. But for example, during my internship, I wasn't, they were joking a lot, and they're all like French Quebecois, and they were joking a lot. They were making jokes, and I wasn't understanding their jokes. And if like they speak really fast, I wouldn't understand. Me, I speak with them French, but like French, like oui baguette. They have like different words also. It's hard to understand. So that's the first thing that I found hard at the beginning. It's the language, it's the French here. It's not exactly like the French that we know. But with time, it got easier. I understand now fully, almost. But that was the first thing that was really hard for me, that I found like difficulties to understand at the beginning. And honestly, also like making Quebecois friends at the beginning, it was really hard because I really wanted to have friends at the beginning in school, and I couldn't. I couldn't make Quebecois friends because of the language, honestly, because I couldn't understand what they were saying. Yes, they're speaking French, but I couldn't understand. Honestly, I think I was understanding like 40% of whatever they were saying. I wasn't understanding anything else. So it was really hard for me to have like school friends. That's why like at the beginning of my university years, I just had Moroccan friends. So technically, if you want to come in here, if you want to come to Montreal or like Quebec, just so you know, it's not the same French. It's different. You're gonna understand, not fully, but you're gonna understand. Like you see, even now if I speak French, I didn't get their accent. I know a lot of people who are not Canadians or Quebecois. For example, Moroccans, their French change with time. It becomes with a Quebecois accent. I don't have the Quebecois accent at all, but I think it's because I wasn't really close to my Quebecois friends or Quebecois people that I know. So that's why like I didn't catch the accent. So I still have the French accent. But overall, as I said, it's an easy French. Like with time, if you meet a lot of people, you can understand it, and you're gonna understand it. So that's not really a major difficulty in here. And honestly, university was a major shock for me because when I came here in Montreal, I came at the age of 16 years old. So technically I came after high school. And high school in Morocco is totally different than university. Like you have exams after like 4 months. So you have like 4 months to study for these exams. But when I came here, I came straight to university. Even like the students that they were with me at my classes at the beginning in my university, they went to Cégep. Cégep is high school in here. So they went to Cégep. They have an idea of what are they gonna study at university. Me, nothing. So it was really hard for me to keep up with professors and to have good grades at the beginning because it was like a shock. It was like, oh my God, how is that working? What do you mean I have a midterm? I have 2 essays and then I have a final. All of that in like 3 months. 4 months, but like a midterm, 2 essays, maybe like some cute small tests in between, and then a final. So that was a major shock for me. When I came here, I had to do, I don't know how to say it in English, une année préparatoire, because in Morocco, we don't study 11 years. So when we come here, we have to do 1 year and we take like a bunch of different classes. For example, philosophy, psychology, like classes that you're not really interested in. That's actually so sad because I'm not gonna give my 100% for a class that I don't really like. So I'm not gonna lie to you. Yes, it was really hard for me at the beginning. I was struggling with my grades because I was studying something that I don't like. But unfortunately, I had to study that. I had to take classes so I can start my program. But overall, now, or like for the last like 4 years, it became really easy because I know how to study now. I can keep up. I have my own way to understand. And that's why like now I get like straight A's. But because I know how the system works now. Another difficult thing that I struggled with was, and still, the culture. Until today, I don't feel like I belong in here. I don't really feel Canadian, even though I have the Canadian citizenship, and unfortunately, I don't even feel Moroccan. When I go to Morocco, I feel like a stranger, but I'm also a stranger in here. Oh my God, that is so sad to say. I never thought about it. That is true. Oh my God, but it's true. When I went back to Morocco, I don't feel like I belong in there either. Like, yeah, I miss my family, but like, it's like I'm a stranger in there and I'm a stranger in here. Where the hell am I gonna belong to? Like, where do I belong? But honestly, I feel like I exist in between, somewhere in between being Canadian and being Moroccan. But honestly, over time, I learned that belonging doesn't always mean fitting in perfectly, but it means learn how to exist authentically, even when you feel different. Something that I really learned the hard way, and I was forced to learn that, was being independent. Honestly, this is like the picture that I have in mind if I stayed in Morocco. If I stayed in Morocco, like, yes, I have my high school diploma, and then I'm gonna go to a big university, then I'm gonna get married, then like this whole time my mom is taking care of me, and then after that is my husband that's gonna take care of me, and I'm living a beautiful life. That's the picture that I have in mind. But coming here, it was totally different. I escaped my father's house. I had to work full-time jobs and study full-time so I can have money, because my mom, I don't come from a rich family, so my mom can't, unfortunately, send me money every month to survive. So I had to learn how to be independent. I had no choice. It's actually good, because I don't want you to see this in a bad way, how I'm gonna say it, but when I see friends that I had in Morocco and how they're living right now, like they're either working with their family in their company, or like their father bought them the car, they bought them the house, they found them a job. Their parents did everything to them, which is, I'm so jealous. Good for you. But also, I don't see myself getting married to a guy that his father or like his family gave him everything. Especially, I went through hell in this country, so I will feel like so masculine next to him. So that's why, like, I say yes, it was really hard for me to be independent in this beautiful country, but it is a beautiful thing that I'm independent. I learned a lot of stuff. I can take care of myself. I've been through horrible situations. Oh my God, I remember, you guys, I was walking outside. This is a sad story that I'm gonna tell you. I remember I had to pay my credit card bill, I had to pay my phone, and I had to pay, I think, school. So overall, I had to pay $2,000. Yes, around something like that. And I was just like, from where I'm gonna get $2,000? I think I had in my bank account like maximum $500. That was like years ago, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. And I remember I was crying. I was walking in the street. I remember it was like July. It was beautiful outside, and I used to live in Kodenej. So I walked from Kodenej till downtown. So that's like 1 hour of walking. I walked from my home to downtown, and then from downtown to Old Port. So that's like another 35, 40 minutes. And while crying, I am praying God, really, really like that. I'm praying to God and I'm crying and walking. That is so sad. And then I went to a place where there's fireworks, and I see everyone kissing and hugging, and I'm crying. And I'm crying, praying God, like, please, like, help me. Like, where am I gonna get the money? And I can't call my mom, hey, send me money. I can't. So I was just like praying God. You guys, I swear to God, the next day, this is like a miracle, I'm telling you here. The next day, I found $2,000 in my bank account. 2,000. Actually, I found more. You're gonna tell me how? How did someone like just send it to you? No, because I changed jobs, and the job that I left, I didn't take like my vacations or something, because when you leave your job in here, they send you money after. That is so sad, because I need to know that. This is exactly what I study, and I don't know that. Okay, but they sent me money. I just woke up, I checked my bank account, and I found over $2,000. And since then, I was just like, hallelujah. That is a beautiful story to tell. Okay, back to our video. I was forced to become independent, but it is a beautiful thing, because I went through hell and I made it. So now whatever the heck is gonna happen to me in here, I can handle it myself. Also, I feel like living abroad taught me another thing, is failing. I'm a person who, I used to be afraid of failure, and for someone who is afraid of failure, I failed a lot. I failed my classes, I failed businesses, I failed 2 businesses. I just kept failing, not gonna lie, but it's okay. I learned a lot, because honestly, I am proud of these failures, because they shaped me. Like, I am not this person without these failures. I swear to God, if I didn't fail these 2 businesses, I won't like open my business now that I have for like 2 years now. I am so thankful of these failures. And honestly, what is success if you never failed? We don't know. So we have to fail. Another thing that I learned the hard way is money management. Guys, I am the last person that I'm gonna give you money advice. I am the last person because I spend everything I have, unfortunately. But when you don't come from a rich family and you are in a foreign country like Canada, and with inflation and you're alone in here, you have to manage your money. Because what do you mean you have to pay $1,600 to university and you have $1,000 rent, and then you have groceries, and then you have bills? You have to manage your money. I've been working since 16 years old, full-time jobs, just so I don't ask my mom for money, and I'm so thankful for that. So if I didn't manage my money, I don't know how I would like pay all my shit. So if you're coming in here, you have to be really, really careful for money. The thing is, here it's easy to get money, but it's also easy to spend money. You get a lot of money after 2 weeks. You get your paycheck, but then a few days after, like, oh my god, where's my paycheck? I just got paid. Where did my money go? It's really easy to spend money in here, especially subscriptions, groceries. Now it's really expensive. Rent is horrible in here now. So since 16 years old, I've been living alone. I was always paying rent. I was always paying for my groceries, and I was having a social, I don't know, honestly, I don't know how I did that, but I did it. And talking about money management, it's also time management that I learned in here. When I left my father's house, I had to work full time. So because I wasn't working when I was with him. So my first job, I remember, I was a hostess in a restaurant, and that restaurant is a breakfast restaurant. The hostess is the first person that you see in front of the door, and I will give you a table where to sit. So I was doing that. It's actually the family that helped me. It's a second family that helped me when I came here, and they gave me, they're Moroccans. I will never forget them also, and they gave me a job in there. So I was working full time there, and I was also, and it was so exhausting. By the way, it was exhausting because they have 2 floors in that restaurant. So I was like going up and down, and it was a famous and still famous restaurant in here. So people, they come like during the whole day eating brunch there, breakfast, even the holidays, even like when there is a snowstorm outside, they will come and eat there. And especially like during Ramadan, it was really hard for me because I was fasting. So it was just like horrible, but I did it. So I was doing full-time job there, and I was studying full-time. So I had like to work there the whole day. Then I will come home, study, and the next day I'm going to university. And then after university, I'm going to the restaurant, and then I will come, just like it keeps repeating itself. It was, if I didn't manage my time, I don't know how I did it, honestly. Now I'm thinking about it, but I did it. I managed my time. And honestly, if I can tell you this, guy, I don't know if it's just me or everyone who comes here, we feel it. Time goes so fast in here. Time goes so fast in here. Today is Monday, the next day is Saturday. I swear, when I go to Morocco, time goes slow, but here is really fast because here everyone's like work, work, work. That's it. That's all. Like it's really fast. Another thing that I learned the hard way is to learn how to be alone. When I came here and I escaped my father's house, I was alone. I was homesick, especially when I had a best friend here who died by car accident. And after that, I just lost it. I was alone. I was homesick. I even went back to Morocco because I was like, okay, that's it. Canada is not for me. I am going back to Morocco. I'm never coming back there. I'm never going back in Canada anymore. But when I went back to Morocco, I was like, no, take me back to Canada. But when I came here, it was really hard for me to not feel homesick. I was homesick the whole time. I was talking to my mom 24 hours. I just didn't know how to be alone. I was with some friends that I used to know back then. It was hard for me to live alone. It was hard for me to be alone, because another thing that I was going to talk about, whenever I'm alone, I was anxious. I was having this fear. I was having panic attacks. So I was always like outside with friends. I was always in the library with people. So I don't feel alone. But I learned that. And if you know me now, I can be alone for months and I don't care. I love being alone. I will cancel events to be alone. And I learned that the hard way. It was really hard for me at the beginning to do that, but now I can do it easily, and actually it's the best thing ever, because from loneliness I learned how to love myself, and from loneliness I started understanding myself, what I like and what I don't like. I started having boundaries. I don't know if you guys know the healthcare in here in Canada, but healthcare is free. Like, you go to see doctors, you go to the ER, you have a surgery, everything is free, but you pay for it. You pay for it with your mental health. I remember the worst year of my whole life. Not gonna lie to you guys. Honestly, 2025 can be one of the worst years of my life. Not gonna lie. But the worst year of my life is 2023. So in 2023, I think 2022, 2023, I got really sick. I remember I got really sick. I was throwing up every single day until I started throwing up blood. I couldn't wake up. I couldn't stand up. I couldn't walk. I was in my bed every single day. I would go to the ER crying. I remember begging them, please, like, do anything, like, do tests, do surgery on me just to see, like, why am I like this? I was never a sick girl. Like, I was never getting sick. And then suddenly, like, I'm sick, I'm throwing up, fever, chills, literally every single thing. It's like I have a flu, but I wasn't having flu. And it actually started with migraine, and then it went to another level. So I was at the ER every day, and the doctors did everything. I'm not gonna lie to you. Since the beginning, I remember I was at the ER every day for like over like 4 months because I had to abandon my classes, my whole semester. And during that 4 months, doctors didn't know what's wrong with me. And I remember the last doctor I saw, I went there and I kept crying. Like, I was in a room by myself. And actually, like, when you go to the ER, you have to wait at least 8 hours to see a doctor, especially if you're just coming for fever and chills and throwing up, just so you know. But me, because I was there every single day, they start like putting me first because they're like, why is she still coming back? It's like they start knowing me back then. And then the last doctor I saw, he took me to a room, I remember, and he was like, we need to talk. I was like, okay, is he gonna tell me to stop coming here? Because I think he will. He was like, listen, we did all the tests. They literally did all the tests. We checked everything. Everything is good. You have no problem. What I think you have is anxiety and depression. And I looked at him and I was like, listen, I don't have that. I'm a happy girl. I romanticize everything. Everything is good for me. And he was like, is it? And that actually shocked me because when he kept talking and explained to me, it's actually true. I have tears. My body shut down because when he kept asking about my life and I kept answering since the moment I came here, and he was like, sweetie, your body can't handle this. That's why it's like this is a reaction of your body through like all what you've been going through. Especially in 2023, I met some people who made my life miserable. I was surviving every single day with these people. So it makes sense that my body's shutting down. And what he told me, like, listen, go home and rest. And I did. I went home and I took a break. That's it. I abandoned my classes. I stopped seeing the people that I was seeing. I just took a break from everything. I was like, I can't. What's the point of having a life if I'm not healthy? What's the point of having these people if I'm not healthy? What's the point of studying? What's the point of money if I'm not healthy? I wasn't healthy at all. And that's because anxiety and depression was killing my body. So I had to take a step backwards and see this is not the life that I want for me. This is not actually the life that I want for me. So I took a break from everything. I kept working because I was working from home back then, but I was just working, going to the gym, taking care of my body because I can show you a picture in here, like the before and after. But I gained a lot of weight, I remember, in 2023 because of the toxic people that I was with and because of the sickness, even though I was throwing up, but still. I remember I made a decision that I will not live my life like this, and it happened. That decision that I took changed my whole life. That's why summer 2023 and summer 2024 is the best summer I ever had in my life, literally, with the perfect body. And speaking about toxic people, you will not have a beautiful experience abroad if you are surrounded with toxic people. And I don't know if I attract them, but I do attract the wrong people, unfortunately, even in friends. But you know, every single person that you meet during your life, it's an experience and you learn something from it. Is it a good or bad? But trust me, if you are surrounded with bad people in here, you're gonna have a bad experience, you're gonna have a bad life. And if you have good friends and good people surrounding you, you will wake up want to do more. You're gonna wake up want to achieve more. You want to wake up want to go to the gym. You want to have that perfect body. You want to have that perfect career. You want to get more money. But if you have like lazy toxic friends, you just want to sleep the whole day. You don't want to go to the gym. You don't care about your career because your friends, they don't care about their career too. So trust me, friends here makes your whole experience different. I used to have toxic friends and good friends, and my life changed. the last thing I'm gonna talk about, and hopefully I can explain it in a way that you can understand it, is romanticizing your life. When I came here, I always thought Canada is hell for me. I always thought that I have a life outside Canada, which is in Morocco. I always thought that this is not my place. After escaping my father's house, I was alone, I was depressed, I was anxious, I got sick, I had no friends, or I had toxic friends with me. I was in a bad place, I was going out with friends a lot, I wasn't having good grades, I wasn't thinking about my career. But when I shut down, I started thinking about my life, and this is not the life that I want for me. So I was like, as I said, I want to change my life. And one thing that I learned from TikTok, and I love this app so much, is romanticizing your life. You guys, I started romanticizing every single thing in my life, even the trash. I bought pink trash just so I can romanticize it. Romanticizing your life can change your whole life. And I tell this to everyone. If you wake up with good mindset, your day is gonna be good. Be thankful. Because before that, I wasn't thankful that I'm here. Being here in Canada is a huge opportunity that millions of people, they wanna be here. So I need you to be thankful every day. If you're here, I need you to be thankful, because that's not the person I was actually. I was having a lot of hate inside of me. But then I decided that hate, I'm gonna build something good with it. I'm gonna love this country, and I love it. I don't wanna leave. I mean, I wanna leave Canada one day, but like, I love Montreal. I don't wanna leave Montreal. I don't see myself in another city. This is my home now. This is how much like I romanticized my life. From going to cute coffee shops by myself, good journaling, manifesting, watching a YouTube video in the morning, doing my makeup, wearing a cute set. I don't know, meeting new good friends that makes my life better. I learned how to romanticize my life in here. And that's why I love my life in here. So I just want to tell you that living abroad will break you, yes, but it will also build you. Build the best version of yourself. And if you're living abroad and you're struggling, you're not weak, you are brave. And like me, especially if you are in a country like Canada, a cold country, alone, far away from home, you are so brave to do this by yourself. And I'm really proud of you. And I'm proud of me too. I've been through a lot. It was a beautiful experience. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening, and I really hope you liked this episode, and see you next week. Okay, you're not gonna cry, you're not gonna cry, you're not gonna cry.